We said, let's start something for the veterans. And I started writing a business plan, started putting a budget together, kind of figured out how much this would cost to operate, and it all started coming together. We can do something for these warriors returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. I retired from the Army in 2007. I just missed the Army, I missed the soldiers so much. It was like I had a sucking chest wound. I mean, it hurt that bad to be without that camaraderie and that spirit and that service to the country feel that you get from doing great things in the military.
I just want to challenge you guys, and you guys, you warriors and you guys that have served, know this better than most of us. And that is how precious life is and how vulnerable life is. We so very much appreciate you guys willing to put it all on the line for the freedoms of us and the freedoms of others.
They send an email requesting if they can hunt. We open 4 hunts a year, and I basically evaluate them, and I try to give the priority to the kids that are still in the hospitals. And we get the military folks from Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. We get folks from the Portsmouth Naval Hospital. We get them from Warrior Transition Units out of Fort Meade, Fort Drum, New York. There is not a shortage of warriors wanting to come here to this program. Born and raised here in Pennsylvania. My father brought my brothers and I up here, Potter County, Tioga. We hunted all over here. We just had such a valuable teacher in our father, you know, teaching us the joy of outdoors and giving back to community.
Everybody that's helped out has definitely made this recovery process a lot easier.
We had a good morning today. Started out nice and calm, didn't hear any birds. Brandon came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and he says, "Oh, I see 2 birds. Oh, I see 3 birds. Oh, there's a big one. He's coming. Here he comes. There he goes." We had a good morning.
People benefit just by helping out here. It's therapeutic for these veterans to come here, but even more so for the guides. How can you ever have a bad day again when you look at that young man and see what he does and his response to his situation? Geez, and I think people see that, you know, and they, hey, let's get on board. Let's help these young men, and it helps them too. It really does.
This weekend is going to be a very big deal. We have 2 buildings that are going to be dedicated. This is our big open house.
God's put us on a special path. He's put us where we are today. I mean, in short 5 seasons, oh my goodness, from this little house to all these buildings and action track chairs to what we're able to do today. Who would have ever thought that we'd grow this quick, this fast, and provide such a professional, quality, caring organization for these veterans? I never did. We dedicated a range house yesterday to Tom Mahalik, a Silver Star recipient from Bradford. Tom lost his life in Afghanistan fighting for our freedom. So we dedicated the range house after him. So it's first class.
James was everything that we want to be.
And then today we dedicated the Warrior Pavilion to Jimmy Hackermer, who was a young man out of Scio, New York that lost both legs. His parents came down, and Jimmy was just full of life. He led people. People just migrated to Jimmy, you know, when he was here, because there's a young man that suffered such tragedy, but his outlook on life and his smile and people that were having bad days here and suffer through PTSD, you know what? Look at this soldier did. I can do the same. And it's a healing process, that bond that they grow together and they experience up here. We had Jimmy's parents, we had Tom Mahalik's parents, mother, family members, and we had the Dunhams here. I had the experience, I guess the fortunate one that escort Mrs. Mahalik out to the range house for the dedication last night. Mrs. Hackermer came up, hugged her, and gave her just some words of encouragement that only a mother can give another mother. When I have the chance to hear that, that makes me stronger. in my commitment to these men and women. So maybe that's why we're here, to bring three parents like that together so that they can cope together in the loss of their children. Who knows? That's one thing I learned about the military. You gotta have a plan. You just can't exist on your laurels, what you've done in the past. You have to look into the future. We know that our 5-year plan, or even longer than that, is the building of Dunham Hall. You've got a super community here that cares about the soldier, cares about the family, and just attempt to do that reintegration process. That's what we intend to do with Dunham Hall, is to build that for families and also soldiers too.